I have no idea who H. Henry Rhodes was. He may have been Hiram Henry Rhodes, who was born in 1864 in Kings Ferry, New York, the son of George Andrew Rhodes and Charlotte Clark Young. In 1896 he married Ida May Thayer and died in 1910 in Groton, Tompkins County, buried under a falling wall. H. Henry Rhodes published a single book, the 1909 Where Men Have Walked, a story of the Lucayos, and it shows. The book begins suddenly with the narrator, who we later find out is named Walt Morris, saying how he was accosted by a vicious man on some island, who turns out to be the piratical, leprous Scottish lighthouse keeper MacFayden. Got that? Good, because Morris does not give us any explanation for how he wound up on shore for MacFayden to knock his lights out, where he came from or why. We simply follow MacFayden travel to a half-sunken ship which he lured to its end to rob it, but he is nearly drowned when the captain, not fearful of his shouts of unclean, as they're all about to drown anyway, throws the bastard into the sea. Morris somehow narrates all of this despite being left behind on a boat a ways off. When MacFayden gets back without any treasure from the now sunken ship but alive, a drowned woman's corpse holding her 2 dead children pursues him through the water in a very ghastly scene before sinking. Morris then pretends to have become a fool from the knock on the head and starts reciting oddly specific songs and poetry all the time. MacFayden is very happy to have such an easily manipulable helper to help him sink and rob ships. But then Morris reveals he is not a fool very soon, so makes that whole thing a bit pointless. Morris wants to force MacFayden to show him the wind cave, and give him all the treasure inside in exchange for saving some cargo. And Morris goes on about how he does not really want any of the bloodstained gold, but can't have MacFayden keep it, so he'll take the multiple millions in gold and jewels, I guess. But just as he is about to show Morris the treasure cave, a random snake crushes the Scot and makes him drown. Morris, for some reason, lies down sick immediately after, and he spends days and weeks in a fever, ministered to by a mysterious caretaker. When he wakes up, he notices a pair of pirates snooping about, but they are scared away by a ghost. Morris then tries to find his mysterious benefactor and assumes it's a woman from the shape of her footprints. Then when trying to find her, he is nearly drowned and then meets a very tall old man, who projects him into an ancient city peopled by giants living in perfect harmonious cooperation, and using electricity for all sorts of neat, mutually beneficial things in utter accord and sublime peace. This is the worst part of the book, as the old man Lobidorosa, who is also dead even in this weird past projection where Morris can talk with everyone, is just so perfect and so boxingly superior in a I'm not condescending, I'm just a superior life form in every way, including my immense humbleness sort of way. Then Lobidorosa assembles all the people of the city of Bunavera now resting on the bottom of the ocean, and tells them he is called onward by higher power and to not grieve for him. Then the walls of the assembly hall close in and begin to crush the people one by one until their souls form a giant glowing star, accompanied with the phrase "one people." I have no idea why this happened, but it was the only exciting part of this whole section. A section that is entirely pointless, as when Morris awakes he is discovered by Bunavera, the somewhat mad woman who attended him during his fever, who was MacFayden's prisoner in the past. Nothing that happened in the city ever mattering again. Bunavera thinks he is her long-lost son, and while he knows this he speaks openly of marriage to her, then wonders why she's upset. The pirates come back, Buna drowning most of them and then fighting a sword duel with another, Morris really doing very little in this book, who turns out to be Morris's mother's stepbrother's wife. Yes, this is treated as a serious development. After finding her mummified, murdered child, Buna gives the pirates the treasure and goes away with Morris, who we still know nothing about by the end of the book. The book's first third was the best, and killing off the vicious leper pirate was the worst decision, as we have to replace him as an antagonist by Morris's step-aunt. Also, the entire midsection is basically filler.